Hi guys, welcome to Buck and Jack. I'm Adrian, and today we are off to see a guy I met at the first Glasgow Red Bar event. Really nice chap, and he runs the Instagram page EdinburghTimePieces. Let's go see what he's got with him. So this chap was actually the first guy from a watch group that I had met. I'd met him at the first Glasgow Red Bar event, and I had all of these preconceptions of what a watch group would be. And I thought it would just be simply a room full of rich guys kind of using watches as an excuse to show off wealth. This chap, despite his watch collection, destroyed that preconception straight away. I was wearing an Explorer at the time, and he spied it and was really interested in my Explorer, asked loads of questions, and was clearly keen about watches. I then asked what he was wearing, and he very casually flicked up his sleeve and showed me an P Journe. We got talking, and his watch collection is so enviable, but let's jump into it. And I'm going to start off with a very hard-hitting piece, and that is this AP, this Audemars Piguet Royal Oak reference 25920. This thing is awesome, absolutely. It's 36 millimeters. It's really quite small with what kind of today's thoughts of a Royal Oak, but this thing is epic. It's so beefy in such a small package, and I really like that. I really like how, although it's a Royal Oak, this is actually a very subtle watch. It's really under the radar. It's really thin. It's just such a cool piece. It's got an annual calendar. It's got really interesting red touches on a blue textured dial. It's got a subdial just off to the right of kind of the center line there, which is an odd position, but an interesting position at the same time. For my kind of OCD, I would have preferred it to be dead on the center line, but maybe it would make it too squished because there's not that much space. But all in all, this thing is just fantastic. It's a lot daintier than kind of the modern Royal Oaks, and the bracelet is a lot thinner. The whole thing's a lot lighter. But it's all in proportion with it being 36 millimeters wide. And it's quite interesting to see a watch that is what I usually associate with being a plus 40 millimeter watch and quite an in-your-face watch. This is really quite a subtle piece. I would most definitely buy a 36 millimeter Royal Oak if it was in my budget. It won't ever be, but it's yeah, I'd be all over this if I could. And thinness is kind of the running theme of this. One of the big characteristics that this chap looks for in a watch is it being quite thin. And you'll see throughout, there's a couple of watches that don't fit into this category. Actually, there's only one that I'm going to show you, but they're out of his collection. There are a few. But ultimately, he likes thin profile watches, and this very much fits into that. So the Royal Oak in 36 millimeter is killer. If you've got 10 grand spare, you go treat yourself and get you one of these, because it is bloody brilliant. So we're going to bring things back to being a bit more traditional. We have a Rolex OP Date, Oyster Perpetual Date. This is a reference 1500, and just look at that dial. It has such an awesome blue textured dial. The blue works so well with the strap and the really deep patina on the little lume bubbles on the edge of those hour batons. This is really cool. Again, quite small, 34 millimeters wide, but a great watch to have in the collection. Huge amounts of character in this chap. So this is the second Rolex of the collection, and it is the GMT Master 2, the 16710 with the Coke bezel. Now I feel like I'm brushing over the Rolexes quite a bit because they kind of, yeah, I get to see them quite a bit, and you guys get to see them quite a bit, no doubt. There's other quite more interesting pieces within this collection, but I am a massive fan of the GMT range, especially the GMT Master 2 range. And it kind of fits in interestingly with the rest of his collection so far as them being low profile watches. The Rolex GMTs are very low profile watches. So if you need something that slides under a cuff easily, or you just like low profile watches and you like that kind of submariner look, then certainly check out the GMTs, especially the pre-ceramics, because the cases it all sits very, very comfortably on the wrist. Now we're talking. This is the JLC Master Chronograph, reference 1538530. This is my favorite watch out of this collection. It's a hard one to choose to be my favorite, but if I were to say that I would buy one of these watches if I had the cash, it would probably be this watch. I'm a huge fan of JLC anyway, Jaeger-LeCoultre, and I think they make beautiful watches and they make fantastic movements as well. I don't like the strap, but the strap does work with the dial. The dial is an incredible dial, beautiful sector dial with the fantastically placed, quite large sub-dials, really nice rounded font on the numerals, but then we have the blue touches on the outside, and blue touches all over actually, and that works fantastically with the blued leather strap. Everything about this is just spot on. Love the hollow syringe hands. I think JLC makes some incredible watches. And the only reason I don't own a JLC is two reasons. One, the ones that I like are often outside of my budget. And two, they just don't retain their value in the same way that Rolex do. And for me, that's an important factor. When I become a bit more comfortable, then no doubt I will be getting myself a JLC. Really, really big fan of this. And here it is. This is the P Journe Chronometre bleu. This is a nuts watch, and absolutely, I think it is the cheapest P Journe watch, if not one of. But as a cheapie watch goes, this is just incredible. The dial is nuts, the case is nuts, and the movement in the bag is equally nuts. So the case is made of tantalum, which is quite a dark metal. It's very uncorrosive, and it's dark grey, and it has a blue tinge to it. So it works really well with that dial. But the fact is that it's not made dark through some coating that's going to chip off, and then you're going to see a lighter metal underneath. This is how the metal is. It is naturally a dark greyed metal, and really interesting metal to use. I like it. I think it works fantastically. The dial is just, there's something about this watch that just works so well. The numerals are large, but they're well spaced. The colors between the numerals and the dial, and then you have the sub dial as well, all contrasting in really nice ways. The hands, and everything is so well spaced and so well done. So this dial is crazy. It's got so many tones to it. When you look face on, it kind of touches on being black, or just a very, very deep blue. And then as soon as you get it angled into the lights, you've got this kind of glow of this really bright kind of turquoisey bluey. It's a really, really interesting dial. It's amazing talking to this chap about this watch, because this is his daily watch. He can walk around with this watch costing as it does, and he's not bothered because he knows Joe Bloggs doesn't know what it is. This is next level stuff. It's well out of the league of Rolex. Just look at that movement at the bag. So this chap, as I've mentioned, has watches from all price points. He even has a Zelos Mako that I did a review of once. That's like a 400, 500 quid watch. He had a Black Bay 58 with him. I should have spent more time with this 58, but I was kind of just taken by all the other pieces that were going on. But I'd like to say a huge thanks to Edinburgh Timepieces. Do go check them out and give Edinburgh Timepieces a follow. It's just a really nice chap who has a huge love for watches and is in a lucky position to be able to own some incredible pieces, and he appreciates that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. It was amazing being able to get hands on these pieces and just drink coffee and chat watches. It was really a fantastic afternoon. So a big thanks to him for allowing that to happen. If you like these sort of videos, do hit that subscribe button down below. I've got some amazing videos in the pipeline, and I'm so excited to make them and share them with you. So don't miss those out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you get notifications, hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and go check out my Instagram page as well, @BarkandJack, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.